make it. I almost didn't last. Why does the week go by so slow, the weekend so fast? But luckily the day's come to take my cares away. It's not Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, that's right, it's Friday, Friday. Tonight I'll party with my friends. Friday, Friday. Today I know the weekend. So I'll get out of bed and be to work on time. I'll give this day to the company, the next 2 days of mine. And when my day's over and the final work hours passed, I'll go home, have a shot of Cuero to the boss who can kiss my Friday, Friday. Tonight I'll party with my friends. Friday, Friday. Today I know the weekends. Friday, Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday, bitches. Enjoy yourselves.
A little bit cloudy, a little bit drizzly this morning, as a matter of fact.
Definitely got some rain on the overnight. Is it still kind of coming down?
Yes.
All right.
Ish.
It wasn't really heavy when I was coming to work, but looks like it's going to clear up later this morning with some clouds and then some sun this afternoon. 76 for a high. Mid-70s tomorrow and on Sunday, and then look for showers on Sunday morning and continuing on Monday as well as we get back to work with a high of just 65 on Monday.
I saw that, but back in the 80s lots of sunshine by next week.
Yeah, middle of the week, it looks like back into the mid to upper 80s, so
kind of
air conditioning.
Cloudy, drizzly weekend. It's looking
That's okay.
like.
It'll be all right. Lots to get to this morning. Doc will join us for his official racing report, unlike the extra that we got on Wednesday. Saw a lot of people that went to the Speedway to see Kyle Larson.
I'm sure.
So we'll talk to Doc just after 8 o'clock. Bad news, happy music. 2 out of 5 Americans are bad at what? We'll find out.
Oh, I was going to say, am I answering this right now?
We'll find out later on. Lots of other stuff as well. What's in theaters this weekend and some This Week in Science. Interesting stories about stuff in science.
Hopefully this rain ends this morning, things clear up, and it stays relatively dry for this weekend because the state track meet is here.
Well, they're running in the rain if it ain't.
And that's no good for anybody. They don't want to do that. They do not want to pole vault in that. They don't want to do all those things. And there's lots and lots and lots of people in town.
Oh, yeah,
and
a lot of vans with colorful writing on the windows.
Well, they should be. They're proud of their person for making it all this way, and we want them to be able to get these competitions underway.
We will get to some Fame on Fire and 3 Days Grace in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Wow, that didn't take long. Boy, I kind of saw it coming. I think it was late last week, maybe even early this week, we got the news that Elon Musk was leaving the Trump administration. And now...
He left the Trump administration.
And now the fight is on. They have apparently turned on one another. Big time. It all started when Elon Musk criticized President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, calling it a, quote, disgusting abomination, and saying that it'll explode the deficit. He also suggested people call their representatives in Washington and demand that they kill the bill, which I'm sure Trump didn't appreciate. Trump's first response to what Elon said was measured. He said, quote, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. I was surprised. Elon's reply to that took it a step further. He said, quote, whatever. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such gratitude. Then Elon took it a step further, and this is where it gets real murky. Quote, time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. In a series of posts on Truth Social, Trump claiming that Elon had been, quote, wearing thin and was asked to leave the administration, not the other way around. He said that Elon Musk is angry because the big, beautiful bill took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. Then Trump said the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. And now Elon Musk is apparently floating the idea of creating a third party for the 80 people in the middle between the Republicans and the Democrats. But the fight is on between Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
My original instinct was to pull out.
It's a good instinct to have, the pull-out method, Gene. Mm-hmm. But they're fighting.
Let's get it on!
Let's get it on.
Mm-hmm.
Elsewhere, a little more local, an evaluation has been ordered on a man from Fountain City after he pled guilty to misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest, told deputies his wife's body along with dozens of cats and dogs were inside their mobile home in Fountain City. Arthur McMullen, appearing in Buffalo County Circuit Court yesterday, charged last October with hiding a corpse and mistreatment of animals. A deputy delivering legal documents to the couple's mobile home led to the discovery of the woman. McMullen told deputies that she had died in the bathroom floor of their residence about 6 weeks earlier. He told investigators why he hadn't reported anything to authorities. McMullen said his wife didn't like hospitals, also didn't want anyone to take away the animals they were taking care of. More than 70 cats and dogs
Holy cow.
in deplorable conditions were
sure.
removed from the house. 2 dead cats were also found. And, now they've ordered a evaluation on this guy as that case continues. In the Wisconsin Dells, 2 men have been arrested, charged in connection with an ATM skimmer operation. Florin Dan Balin and Bogdan Alexandru Ardei, both from Romania, were taken into custody after a search warrant was executed on a apartment. The warrant was part of an investigation into a credit card skimmer placed on ATMs at Quick Trip stores. Skimmers components for manufacturing them were seized during the search. Authorities are still analyzing the evidence they collected. The Quick Trip locations affected include the Dells on Broadway, Lake Delton on Monroe Avenue, and West Baraboo on Pine Street. The skimmers were placed and recovered by the suspects on May 17th and May 22nd to 23rd in the Dells, and May 22nd and 23rd in Lake Delton and Baraboo. The skimmer was seized by law enforcement. So the chief there says if you've used the ATM at those locations during those specified times, contact your financial institution and law enforcement if fraudulent activity occurred. But they've arrested those 2 guys apparently in connection with those ATM skimmers.
I guess I don't know what that means. Does that mean
they
they're
put a device on it that looks just like the...
I understand.
You couldn't tell, and then when you put your card in and enter your information, it's
They're
stealing...
taking the information.
Right.
Okay.
So, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says nearly 2 million window air conditioners manufactured by Midea, M-I-D-E-A, are being recalled. Officials say the recall is due to a drainage issue which could allow mold to grow. Obviously, you don't want that blowing in your bedroom all summer long.
Nope.
According to the alert, there are 152 reports of mold in the air conditioners. It says that there are 17 reports of people experiencing symptoms like mold-related respiratory infections and allergic reactions. The units were sold under several different brand names, including Midea, Frigidaire, and Insignia. They were sold online. Major retailers, including Costco, Home Depot, Best Buy, they're offering free repairs or refunds for the recalled units, but you can find out more by going online if you have a window air conditioner.
You're talking about multiple brands and
2 million units.
Yeah,
That's a lot. And Hooters, just the other day, closed a bunch of locations. Looks like they just closed a whole bunch more. Despite reassurances that Hooters would not be shutting down, the company has been closing locations since at least 2024 and did not respond to follow-up inquiries, but they just shuttered another 30 locations in the last couple of days. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, even Rockford, Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. A whole bunch of locations getting shut down just over the last couple of days as Hooters, of course, struggling, trying to figure out what to do, consolidating.
And that manhunt continues for Travis Decker, that father of those 3 girls.
I didn't realize he had Wisconsin ties.
He did. He was born and raised, as a matter of fact. But so they're asking everybody to be, on alert. But they think he's on the Pacific Trail, apparently. That's where the police think that he's located. But the Pacific Crest Trail is where they believe he's near. But
gotcha.
Could be, quote unquote, anywhere, obviously. And advocacy now, people asking for changes and how that all happened and horrifying. $1 million raised in the GoFundMe for that poor mother.
Doesn't replace 3 daughters.
Oh, my God.
but-
Never.
Yeah,
oh, my
awful.
God. It's just awful. But the, attorneys working, decades with abuse survivors in these kinds of stories are asking for reform.
3 Days Grace coming up in just a few moments. Right now, it's Fame on Fire.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
3 Days Grace, I Hate Everything About You. Looking forward to seeing them at Rockfest this July. rock-fest.com. Tickets, camping if it's still available, all that stuff right there at rock-fest.com.
You excited about that? Your camper and the whole thing?
There isn't very many bands on the lineup that I'm all that excited to see. I mean, I just like going. It's always fun to go. It's a party. I see a lot of people I know, and, we get to hang out and all that stuff and drink beers. And Manson, I'm excited to see him again. I've always been a big Manson fan. Slaughtered to Prevail, which is a band I've never seen, but they have an immense following online, and they do... I don't know how they're going to do a Wall of Death, but we'll see if they can get it done on the lawn up there. But it's going to be interesting to see those guys on stage at Rockfest. So, yeah, and everybody else just kind of, not that I'm disinterested. It's just more of like I've seen most of these bands many, many times, and so
the fun, the party, the vibe, the thing
vibe.
That is Rockfest would be great.
The weekend away from work, sort of. The Brewers at home tonight, starting a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres. First pitch at 7:10. It's the start of a 10-game homestand for the Brew Crew.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of June.
NBA Finals kicking off last night.
Gildas Alexander spins, pulls up, jumper. Off the mark, won't go. Rebound, Neesmith. Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Halliburton does it again. Caruso looking, throws it up on the rim, knocked away, and Indiana takes game one. Shocking the Thunder here at OKC. The comeback kids do it again.
NBA Finals kicking off last night with Tyrese Halliburton hitting a 21-foot jumper with 0.3 seconds left to give Indiana its first and only lead of the game. They trailed the entire time except for when it mattered the most. Pacers stunning the Oklahoma City Thunder.
1 point.
111-110, game one of the NBA Finals. They came back by 15 points in the fourth quarter. They trailed by 15 points in the fourth quarter. They had 25 turnovers in the game.
Dude.
And the best home record in the NBA for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they coughed it up and lost to the Pacers in game one. Game two of that series tomorrow night, Indiana at OKC, 7 p.m. on ABC.
Caitlin Clark sitting courtside because of her injury last night.
NHL Stanley Cup Finals continue tonight with the Florida Panthers at the Edmonton Oilers. That game at 7 o'clock on TNT. The Oilers, of course, up 1-0 in that series.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
And the big news out of the NFL yesterday wasn't very surprising. We all kind of suspected this was going to be the truth.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Aaron Rodgers agreeing to terms on a
1 year?
one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, ending months of uncertainty about his future. There was rumors he might end up in Minnesota. There was rumors about this and that and the other thing. And I think at this point it seems like the Steelers would be the best fit. 1 year, though, what are you going to get? What are you going to get out of Aaron Rodgers? Steelers said the contract is pending a physical. So they got to wait for all the drugs to leave his system before they can.
I think he's more herbs.
I know.
It's herbs.
And the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, I think right now is the longest tenured head coach in the NFL and has never had a losing record as a head coach in the NFL, like 14, 15 seasons in a row. So there are expectations when you come to Pittsburgh. And those fans are not the Jets fans. They're different. Not the Jets fans, aren't crazy and weird.
Passionate and supportive of their team.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Aaron Rodgers, probably got to be the final year, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I would think so.
Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We got some nothing more in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Oh, you know who you are. You've been doing your daily action, putting lots of overtime. You need some time off satisfaction. Just think how tough it's been. You've been putting out all that labor. If you use your wit, you can get out quick and do yourself a favor. Friday in effect, and you're pretty beat, I bet. It's been one tough week, you've hit your peak, and you've earned your paycheck. But now this week is over, and it's a little fun you're seeking. Your grin is wide, and I know why. Look out, here come the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
That weekend's gonna be a monster, y'all.
Yes, the weekend is here, and the weather is... we had some rain during the overnight, and looks like a little bit more rain this morning, but clearing up with some clouds and maybe a mix of sunshine this afternoon. Mid-70s, and then looking at about 73, 74 tomorrow with some clouds. Looks like more showers on Sunday morning, and then more rain on Monday as we head back to work. So it's going to be kind of a...
Cooler, too, the beginning of next week, but hopefully it stays dry later this afternoon when the state track meet gets underway.
Television this weekend, if you're going to stay indoors and watch something on TNT tonight. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Edmonton Oilers hosting the Florida Panthers. Oilers up 1-0 in that series. Playoff hockey, Gene. Nothing like it. Also tonight on ABC, Late to the Party, coming out later in life. A documentary special following a New York Times columnist named Charlie Blow as he talks to a diverse group of people who similarly come out as LGBT or whatever in the later stages of their lives. So, obviously, it's Pride Month. NBC tonight, Soaring to New Life, making How to Train Your Dragon. The new...
How they made it?
Yeah, the making of How to Train Your Dragon. Over on Sci-Fi tonight, the 4th season premiere of Resident Alien. Also on Hulu, I'm going to check this one out. Today on Hulu, Predator, Killer of Killers, an animated anthology in which a ninja, a female Viking warrior, and a Hispanic World War II fighter pilot each face off against the Predator.
You're not hearing me. There's something else up in the sky, and it's not human.
I pray you bloody your spear tonight. You are ready now. There's only one way to kill it. We must fight together.
Here we go.
Predator, Killer of Killers, again, an animated anthology. And it is the Predator from the movies.
It's that one, okay.
And it's like spanning generations,
and
obviously.
It disappears.
Ninja, female Viking, World War II, so yeah. Also on Max tonight, the streaming premiere of The Alto Knights. Robert De Niro doing double duty, playing 1950s crime bosses Vito Genovese and Frank Costello.
Let's remember something. I put you where you are today. It's because of me. Mr. Good Citizen. You want to be like them? Come on, you ain't like them. They own this country. They're bigger gangsters than we ever could be. All of a sudden you want to be half tin, half out, half a racketeer. You can't have it both ways. You're either in or you're out.
Alto Night streaming premiere today on Max. Saturday night on A&E, the 16th season premiere of Storage Wars. Yeah!
Oh, man.
I was talking to my wife about that the other day. We were walking the dogs, and I was like, do you know there's a new season of Storage Wars? And she's like, what? And I said, yeah, it just kind of pops up out of nowhere and has like 5 episodes. They call it a season, and then it's done. I don't know, it's very strange. Sunday afternoon on Hulu, the 2025 LA Pride Parade, live streaming that. Sunday on NBC, Sunday night on NBC, the 78th Annual Tony Awards. Cynthia Erivo from Wicked will be the hostess with the mostest. And apparently the original Broadway cast of Hamilton reuniting to perform for the play's 10th anniversary. That's on the Tony Awards on Sunday night on NBC. Also, Game 2 of the NBA Finals are on Sunday night on ABC. The Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Indiana Pacers. Sunday night on NGC, Nat Geo, it's the first season finale of Tucci in Italy.
I
I'm Stanley Tucci, and I believe that the best way to understand what makes a country and its people unique is through their food. Okay, mangiamo. And this is true nowhere more than Italy.
This is a secret.
Oh, really? Because it's going to go on television, and then, where even the shape of your pasta and the sauce you serve it with, I love that, differentiates the character and history of each region sharply from the next.
Nice. You smell that?
Stanley Tucci traveling around Italy and talking to people and
food.
eating a lot of pasta, yeah. Also on Sunday night on AMC, episode 6 of The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2. All of the late night shows are in repeats tonight, as they usually are on Fridays. They're doing the 4-day work week. When can we start doing a 4-day work week and having a repeat on a Friday? Why do we got to be live?
I think it's because people work 5 days a week, or 6,
they're not.
or 7,
They're not.
or all of them.
Sons of bitches. New in theaters this weekend, Ballerina, rated R. This is the prequel set between the 3rd and 4th John Wick films. Stars Ana de Armas as Eve Macaro, a ballerina who becomes an assassin after being forced to watch her father's murder at the hands of Gabriel Byrne as a child. She's taken in by Angelica Houston, who helped Keanu Reeves, who is also in the film. The Romani criminal organization that helped train John Wick gets trained by them. She then rises in the ranks and starts going on assignments, and then finally gets a lead on her dad's killer, then ignores her orders to go on an unrelenting quest for revenge. Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, key role in the film, apparently.
All right.
Ian McShane and Lance Reddick also back. This was Lance Reddick's last role before he died in 2023. Ballerina, rated R, in theaters this weekend. Also, that movie, The Phoenician Scheme, opening up nationwide, rated PG-13, the Wes Anderson film.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about that here.
That was a limited release last week, and now it's everywhere.
We're going to talk about that here in just a moment. Interesting story about Benicio del Toro, who stars in that film. Also in theaters this weekend, The Ritual. This is the Al Pacino Exorcist film that's coming out.
This is a very troubled woman, hissing at the side of a church.
A woman's parish wishes to attempt a solemn sacrament.
You mean an exorcism? You would like me to perform it?
No, some poor other soul already has that distinction.
We are the Lord's army in this battle.
I feel we should forego the restraints.
She is touched by something otherworldly.
What if what she really needs is a doctor?
Yeah.
We are paying a price for your lack of faith.
The Ritual. A priest having a crisis of faith, ordered to host an exorcism of a possessed girl at a convent.
No, thank you.
Al Pacino is the old priest, Dan Stevens is the young priest, and it's apparently based on real-life events.
Yeah, doctor. I would take her to the ER.
They always go to the doctor first.
Yeah.
That's what's in theaters this weekend. As I mentioned, The Phoenician Scheme, expanding from limited to nationwide. And Benicio del Toro, who stars in that film, apparently got stopped at the airport by TSA because he had a script for the film in his luggage. And it has a plane crash, which is pivotal to the movie, in the script. And so they had to ask him a bunch of questions about that because he was boarding a plane.
Okay, so what if I have a novel about a plane crash or a plane disappearing or aliens sucking up a plane? Like if I have a book about that, is that a problem?
The new movie, The Phoenician Scheme, getting him into trouble. He was in Boston about to catch a flight to L.A., left his computer in his carry-on. TSA went through his bag. Agent found his script for the film. Noticed the opening scene headings were interior, airplane bomb, interior cockpit, eject the pilot, and crash.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Jaja Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesel.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying.
You'd think that they would recognize it's Benicio del Toro, right? I mean,
maybe.
Anyways, he had to clarify it was just a film script. They apparently let him go. Wasn't bothered by it. He said, I gave that guy a thumbs up because he was paying attention. So the film script for his new
So
film.
they thought it was like a manifesto of a guy who's got...
Wow, look, you're a TSA person. Anybody comes through and they got a computer and it says something about a plane crash, you're probably going to want to ask a few questions.
Ask some more questions.
Last but not least, Tom Cruise setting a Guinness World Record while filming Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Most burning parachute jumps by an individual.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't realize that was a world record.
Me either.
Jumped out of a helicopter 16 times while strapped to a parachute, pre-soaked in fuel and lit on fire. According to Guinness, no other actor or stuntman has come close to the amount of drops. The editor-in-chief of Guinness's Book of World Records said, quote, Tom doesn't just play action heroes. He is
an action
hero. A large part of his success can be chalked up to his absolute focus on authenticity and pushing the boundaries of what a leading man can do.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be deploying, I'm going to be spinning and burn. I have to kick out of the twist and then ignite within 10 seconds.
Start soaking the parachute.
We're going to submerge the parachute into the avgas, so when the parachute opens and ignite it and explode.
For this shot, we're going to be real smart. I'm not saying be risky. We don't take risks, obviously.
So what do you...
Okay, let's go.
In the behind-the-scenes footage that you just heard, Tom says, quote, if this is twisted while it's burning, I'm going to be spinning and burnt. I'll have to kick out of the twist and then ignite in 10 seconds. We're going to be real smart. I'm not saying be risky. We don't take risks, obviously. I don't know, jumping out of a plane with a burning parachute sounds pretty goddamn risky.
So does everything about that. Where he's on that in the new one, when he's on the wing surfer or whatever it's
called.
The
biplane, yeah.
Where he's talking about that. It almost seems...
I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward
unhuman.
to it.
You know, like his...
Yeah.
It's just...
You got to appreciate the dedication of the craft, if you will. You know?
Oh.
Doing his own stunts and all the running and everything else. And you can see why the guy got passionate about the COVID stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, you think about the whole jumping on the couch at Oprah's place, yelling about Katie Holmes. Kind of weird. The Scientology stuff, very weird. But on the movie set, when they had specific rules during the COVID stuff, and they're trying to make movies and give people jobs and a way to pay their bills, some people were taking it frivolously, and he got very upset and had an...
World record of jumping out of a plane with a burning parachute?
Yeah, so he's a record holder. Yeah, I wonder if some other movie star is going to go after that. Yeah.
No, probably not.
So there you go. That's what's on TV and in theaters this weekend. We've got Doc joining us later on to talk racing. Going to be talking about this week in science. 2 out of 5 Americans are bad at something. We'll tell you what that is a bit later on. Have you been swirling that around in the nasal cavities?
Barely.
You're bad today.
Oh.
It's getting worse.
I know. I think I have to go to the walk-in.
Crossfade.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Chevelle on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. When you think of a guy on a horse, you think of maybe Texas, Wyoming,
I was just going to say
Montana,
Yellowstone.
Not necessarily New Jersey.
Was he an officer of the law?
He was not, but he was helping officers while he was on his horse.
Like chasing down criminals for them?
A guy on a horse helping catch a hit-and-run driver in New Jersey the other day. Guy in a gray Accord, Honda Accord, hit a parked car and sped off. But a dude riding by on his horse saw it happen and chased after this guy in the Accord. Got a partial license plate number, and that ended up being enough for the cops to track this dude down. He's being charged with multiple things, including driving without a license
Hit and run.
and leaving the scene of an accident. Yeah. Just a dude.
Just happened to be riding by on his horse.
Riverside, New Jersey.
Is that like a resort town or something where there would be horses?
The guy's name is PJ, and he apparently was visiting Riverside, New Jersey to show his horse Shiny to his friends. But while he was riding Shiny around the area, he saw this dude hit a parked car and drive off. Somebody else reported the crash to the police, telling officers that she heard a loud crash outside of her apartment. She went outside, saw the vehicle speeding off, noticed some damage to the parked car. PJ shortly after emerged with some important news to deliver by horseback. Told the caller that he saw a gray Honda Accord hit the vehicle and drive off. And then with Shiny's help, PJ went after this offender.
Not on my watch.
Got close enough to get the partial license plate number. That info helped the police identify Italo Lalve Gualiasca, or some crazy-ass crap like that. This guy, 22.
Driving without a license?
Careless driving without a license, failure to report an accident, and leaving the scene of an accident.
Was it even his car?
We want to thank the witness in this case for being observant, coming forward, and making the calls to our officers. We'd especially like to thank PJ and his sidekick, Shiny, for their efforts to get this
we wouldn't
info
have got him without this.
that ultimately solved the case. Just in town to show off my horse. Might as well do some good while I'm here, right?
See a crime, do something about it.
Elsewhere, a Jersey Mike's employee in hashtag Florida apparently helped save a woman's life. Sorry, it has nothing to do with delicious sandwiches.
I'll get it Mike's way, I will.
Other than the fact that the guy worked there, or the girl worked there.
Is it Heimlich?
No. This is a woman, apparently, who left a note in the bathroom that she was being held captive against her will. And put it in such a place that when you go in there as an employee to look at the bathroom, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of odd. And it said, help me, and had an address and descriptive
You are kidding.
words about vehicles in a driveway. Yeah, oh yeah. Eleanor Coffey.
Whoa.
Finding the crumpled up piece of paper in the bathroom last week that looked like trash, but it was a help me note.
Took it seriously.
Address on it, asked whoever found it to please call the police. Eleanor and her manager immediately calling 911. When the police showed up at the address, they rescued the woman and arrested a guy, 34-year-old Jordan Williams. They say he's had at least 2 domestic violence incidents before, and it sounds like he's going away for a long time now with this one.
Oh, my gosh.
There was this little piece of crumpled up paper that was shoved next to our toilet paper dispenser, and it looked like a piece of trash. She was like, please help me. I'm at this address in Navarre. I need you to call the police and do a wellness check.
Our deputies responded, looked at the letter, gathered information. She left her name and address of where she was going to be at, what kind of car would be in the driveway. So she left a lot of details in the notes so we could come to her and help her.
Sheriff's Department saying that the note written by the victim identified herself and indicated she was being held against her will at a nearby residence and feared for her life. After reviewing surveillance footage, prior case records, and witness interviews, deputies identified the suspect as the man, Jordan Williams. Williams and the victim had a, quote, documented history of domestic violence incidents with the Sheriff's Department. So they knew this guy. Deputies executing a search warrant of this guy's home found the woman, confirmed she had written the note, detailed a prolonged period of abuse, repeated assaults, threats involving weapons, being held in isolation for a span of several months. After deputies observed injuries on the victim, EMS personnel transporting her to an area hospital, treated for suspected broken bones, along with other trauma. Williams appearing before a judge about a week ago where he was ordered to be held without bond. Yeah, Eleanor Coffey, the girl who found the note, said, my heart goes out to her and her family, and I'm just, hopeful that this doesn't really happen again.
Smart move, though. I mean, calculated.
See something, say something.
Well, she wrote the note and was waiting for a chance to get out to be somewhere where she could leave it.
Yeah. Well, you can't just pass it to the, or say something or signal. I mean, because the guy's probably watching every move. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and yeah. But that... Again, kudos to the Jersey Mike employee who could have just thrown it in the trash and gone about her day.
Crumpled up and like trash, but noticed something, and oh my gosh.
Right?
The fear that woman had. Ugh.
Cloudy start to the day, maybe some sun later on, mid-70s. More clouds tomorrow, then some showers on Sunday, maybe on Monday as well. But then look out next week. It's going to get hot again. We're looking at temps in the mid to upper 80s by Wednesday.
Yeah, but kind of cloudy for state track meet and a little bit of rain, too. But hopefully that, fingers crossed, that ends by this afternoon.
Music coming up in just a bit on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene from our good friends in Motley Crue.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Lots going on in the world of science. Lots going on. I don't know why we need these things.
What do we need?
Well, look, people are stressed. I don't know if I need something to tell me that I'm stressed. I know I'm stressed. Right?
Yeah. What, it's an alert? Like beep, 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 you're stressed out?
I'm trying to find it here.
Was it like a some sort of device you wear, like an Apple Watch that's telling you that your blood pressure's up or something?
This week in science.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
New electronic face tattoos might be able to track your mental workload and tell you if you need a break. I don't need a tattoo on my face to let me know that I've had enough.
I don't even understand. So it changes.
Who are these
somehow?
people that need a face tattoo to let them know that they have had too much work? Any work is too much work.
In the face! In the face!
What are we doing? Why do we need this? Is this just people spinning their wheels? What a smoking pot. What else can we do to these people? Is this Elon getting high on Joe Rogan's podcast and saying we're going to put tattoos on people's faces?
Isn't he taking ketamine or something? What's going on?
I don't know, but there's
is it electronic then?
An e-tattoo.
So it's electronic.
Right. It's more like it looks
like a wire.
It looks like somebody scribbled on some plastic wrap and then they stick it to your face and it's got electrodes and stuff. It could track your mental workload for people in high stakes jobs.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Like brain surgeons and pilots and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they don't know that they're having too much stress or that their workload is too much.
Wait, I can't take it. Out! Ow! Don't move. Ow! Wait, ow! I'm sorry, it hurts.
I don't think it's that kind of tattoo. Scientists say the device could alert workers such as pilots and healthcare staff when they are feeling the strain. Look, I get it. The job, you can't just take 5 minutes when you're working on some guy in the ICU or in the ER, right?
You're doing a brain surgery.
What good is that thing going to do? You know you're stressed. I don't need some kind of stupid cellophane wrap on my face to tell me that I'm stressed out or I've had enough.
Well, then what?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the point of it is. It just seems like making stuff up because we have nothing better to do with our time. People don't know that they're stressed or that they're working too much. So we got to get an e-tattoo for your face.
What is that?
I painted my face.
You painted your face?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, support the team.
Well, you can't walk around like that.
Well, why not?
Because it's insane?
Yeah. Can't walk around with an e-tattoo on your face. Especially in your high-stakes, stressful job.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of stuff to be walking around with.
You're an astronaut and you've got a face tattoo that says ooze.
Another thing that could apparently tell us that we're too stressed out is dental floss. We're making stress-detecting dental floss. When are we going to cure cancer? Are they working on that still?
Is it the sticks? Because I really like those. With
I love the sticks.
With
love
the little,
with the pick and yes, love it. Don't get me wrong. Love it. I got you. I'm with you. Scientists at Tufts University, these must be the people who don't get like good grants from the government, right? These are the people that...
Or are they working for a floss company where they're like...
What are we doing? Scientists at Tufts University creating a dental floss with embedded sensors that can detect cortisol in your saliva with laboratory-grade accuracy. Cortisol, of course, a stress hormone. The device achieved ultra-sensitive detection and showed 99% correlation with standard lab tests and proof-of-concept studies. While not yet ready for consumer use, this technology could eventually make stress monitoring as routine as daily flossing. Again, who are the people that don't know that they're stressed that need to use their dental floss to say, hey, bro?
Hold on a second. I think I'm feeling something. Let me go. I got to...
Wait, go back to that other tooth.
I got to go back and go to the bathroom and take care of some dental hygiene. Yep,
Smart.
I'm stressed. Yep.
See, I can't come to work. My dental floss said, nope, I'm too stressed. Smart dental floss can now apparently detect cortisol and track how stressed you are.
Okay.
For people who apparently are unaware of how stressed they are. Who are these people that don't know how much stress they have in their lives?
I don't know. I said, unless they're working for a floss company, and it makes sense.
In other science news,
yeah,
Amazon is now apparently training humanoid robots to deliver your packages.
I will be unabashedly proud that we aim to eliminate every menial, mundane, and repetitive job out there. We want to eliminate that. And if it's repetitive, we want to automate that because we will never run out of things to do for our employees. We want them to focus on higher level tasks. People are amazing at using common sense and reasoning and understanding complex problems. Like, why would you not use that?
That is the Amazon Robotics chief technologist, a guy named Ty Brady.
Are they driving too?
So apparently they're like Waymo cars. They're driverless. And these robots are in there with your packages, and then they show up and they get out and they bring them over. But it's humanoid. So it's not like these little drones or delivery robots like the little pizza thing that you see driving around.
It's a full-blown robot.
It looks more human. Yeah, so it gets out and it carries it over, puts it down, all that stuff. Until someone beats it up and it...
But it's driving the car also.
I don't think it's driving. I think the car is doing the work.
The car's driving.
I think the car
is
in its own thing. Yeah.
Then why does that feels like the humanoid robot is
so they tried
somewhat unnecessary.
They tried the drones and apparently it didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't very successful.
Well, weren't they people shooting them down?
That too. The drones apparently still only available in a few select communities. Now Amazon is looking further into the future, working on technology to have your packages delivered by humanoid robots. The humanoids would be driven around in the Rivian electric vans, would jump out to walk over and drop your packages off on your doorstep. Supposedly, this AI software will soon be ready for real-world testing. The testing will happen at an indoor humanoid park.
Huh?
Which Amazon has constructed at one of their offices in San Francisco. It's roughly the size of a coffee shop. It apparently has an obstacle course for the robots. They're also working on AI-powered robots to work at their distribution centers, which seems a little bit more, easy to obtain and achieve.
Is that just not even like a humanoid robot? It's just arms that move things?
Feels a little more practical than these humanoids.
I've seen
they're on tracks. There's numbers, there's scans, there's QR code, all that stuff. I get all that.
Auto plants, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Humanoid park?
Some porch pirate is going to beat up the wrong humanoid robot, and then we've got
issues.
We've got Terminator. We got Judgment Day on our hands. I don't want Amazon robots delivering my packages. I want Steve in the truck. I'm satisfied with that.
Well, aren't those drivers making good money? I know it's that the whole thing. They can't.
How do you make more money? You get rid of the human element. You don't have to pay a robot, right?
You just take them to the park every Sunday?
Why are we making humans doing mundane things? Well, no, be honest, you snake. You just don't want to pay people to do jobs. That's what you want.
So a driverless car and a humanoid robot are bringing me my package.
I don't want it to happen in my lifetime, but I wish I was alive to see it happen when the robots do take over, because it's coming. All this stuff it's just...
Maybe I don't need those white sandals after all.
We're writing our own death warrant here. Amazon humanoid robots apparently are going to start delivering your packages. Thankfully, my neighbor across the street gets packages delivered every day, so I get to see a lot of this.
You get a lot of humanoid robots.
Yeah. I'm front row center.
Make friends. Is it always the same one?
I don't know. I don't know. They should just do bank pipelines to her house. Customers that buy stuff, all the stuff from Amazon, just install, some kind of pipeline thing.
Like a chute?
Yeah, like the banks,
Oh, it's Julie again. Right down the chute.
Sports coming up after Motley Crue. Shout at the devil.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
The Crew shouting at the devil on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The Brew Crew off last night. They're at home against San Diego tonight. 7:10 first pitch, the first of 3 against the Padres. Also the start of a 10-game homestand for the Brewers. Pacers stunning the Oklahoma City Thunder with a last-second
that is crazy
jumper by Tyrese Halliburton to win 111-110 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Game 2, Sunday, Indiana at Oklahoma City, 7 p.m. on ABC. NHL Stanley Cup Final continuing tonight with the Panthers at the Oilers. That game at 7 o'clock on TNT. The Oilers up 1-0 in that series. And Aaron Rodgers agreeing to terms on a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Aaron's on the Steelers now. He's on the Steelers now. That don't sound right. You know that ain't right.
Aaron's on the Steelers now. Steelers said the contract is pending a physical, but I'm sure that's
fine.
That's just partially on the plate. Boston Bruins announcing yesterday they've hired Marco Sturm as their new head coach. The final team in the NHL to hire a head coach. There were 9 teams looking for a new head coach this year, and the Bruins were last. Yeah. He becomes the 3rd coach the Bruins have had since November when they fired the current St. Louis Blues coach, Jim Montgomery. They fired Montgomery after winning 8 of the first 20 games. Then they brought in Joe Sacco, the assistant, to be the head coach. And then he didn't make it in terms of being the next head coach because they hired Marco Sturm. SportsCenter anchor Jay Harris stepping away from ESPN briefly after being diagnosed with prostate cancer. Harris making the announcement during an appearance on Good Morning America yesterday where he urged men to talk to one another about their health.
Good for him to share all that.
Said he was going to undergo surgery on Tuesday of next week. Expects to miss a month before he returns to ESPN to host SportsCenter. He said, quote, "We don't talk. I was on a golf trip with some buddies of mine, and we were just sitting around talking about things that I probably can't talk about on television right now. And I mentioned the news to them. I told them what was going on with me, and the conversation from there was fantastic. We talked about doctor's appointments and ailments and family histories and things that we wouldn't have had a conversation about because I figured I needed to share. We all need to talk about these things because we all have them in our families, but not talking about them, I hate to be morbid, we sentence ourselves to death."
Yeah. I'm glad he's talking about that he's open about that, and here's what's going on, and here's what happened, and how I got diagnosed, and what you should be looking for, and let's talk about those things. That's brave and good.
Elsewhere in sports, a California high school track star post-race celebration. Paying homage to an Olympic gold medalist resulted in her DQ.
I think I saw a video
and
of
the
this.
stripping of her state championship title by officials who were outraged.
Yeah, what happened exactly? Because I saw a video of her crying that she lost her medal, basically, right? She won.
North Salinas High School sophomore Clara Adams had just crossed the finish line as the winner in the 400 meters at Buchanan High in Clovis on Saturday when the excited teen ran over to her dad to celebrate. Her dad, David, handed his daughter a fire extinguisher, and away from her competitors, not in their face, not like in the midst of everything, she sprayed on her shoes as if they were on fire, right? I'm running so fast. I'm doing so well. My shoes are on fire. However, the moment was quickly extinguished by the California Interscholastic Federation officials who viewed her actions as unsportsmanlike and DQ'd her. In a statement, she said, "I'm disappointed and I feel robbed. I am in shock. They yelled at me and told me, 'We're not letting you on the podium.' They took my moment away from me." That decision handed down minutes before the young track star was about to run the 200 meters, but because she was DQ'd for what was ruled an unsportsmanlike act, she was not allowed to run that race, where she was one of the favorites to win. Her dad, who is also her sprinting coach, adamant that his daughter did nothing wrong, and when she celebrated, she wasn't near any of the competitors in the 400-meter sprint. I feel like anytime you're going to release some sort of...
It's very showboaty. Did they not understand what any of the rules were?
Personally, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's fun. It's not like, look, there's been way worse celebrations. Allen Iverson stepping over guys. That's pretty disrespectful. But if your dad is handing you this and you're celebrating, I mean, I don't know. Sure, it shows up everybody else a little bit, but is it the worst thing in the world that she like?
It's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't know. Her dad probably should have had better judgment. This is a state track tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means she needs to lose her state title.
Well, she got DQ'd and they stripped her of the title. So
That's what
she
I'm
couldn't
saying.
run in the next race, which was, she was favorited to win and all that stuff. But yeah. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We got some Poppy, Rockfest music from Poppy coming up in just a bit. And 2 out of 5 Americans are bad at this. We'll find out what that is next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
That is Rockfest music from Poppy. And even though I'm not all that excited about anything at Rockfest this year other than maybe Marilyn Manson and Slaughter to Prevail, my wife is very excited about seeing Poppy.
Uh-huh.
Very excited. When I told her that we had gotten the email from our friends at Rockfest about which artists we wanted to interview and introduce, she made sure to let me know that
she has interest in learning more about Poppy.
About going backstage and meeting Poppy. Yeah. I was like, I'll see what I can do. See what I can do. Try to finagle that. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. 2 out of 5 Americans are bad at this. What is it, Gene?
Budgets, finance, money.
2 out of 5. Almost 50% of people are bad at this.
Let's see. The internet. Car maintenance. Spelling. Personal hygiene.
In a brand new survey, 38% of Americans, nearly 2 out of every 5,
swimming,
admit that they are bad at mornings.
Like
whatever it
dawn?
is. Whatever it is. Whatever it is that
you call
defines your morning, they're bad at it. The average person gets out of bed later than they planned 8 times a month. But for another 10% of people in this survey, it's more like 20 times per month. Sleeping too late can make your mornings even harder, especially if you got to rush around and do all the things. 41% of people say a late start means they might have to skip breakfast. 16% will skip showering. 11% will save time by not brushing their teeth. For the people in the survey, 43% say they use an alarm to wake up in the morning, with the average time of the first alarm going off 6:33 a.m. I've told you before that I'm so OCD about my schedule that if I wake up even 10, 15 minutes late because I forgot to set the alarm, which almost never happens, I feel like I don't even want to come in and do the day because it's just been ruined.
I understand the skipping a shower. You know what I mean? You brush your hair, throw on some clothes, but you don't brush your teeth.
I don't brush first thing because I'm going to have coffee and have something to eat. So I wait till I get to work, and then when I'm done with that, I'll brush. But
you said 11% don't brush. They skip the brushing
because they're running late. Because they're bad at mornings.
Yeah, do the brushing. Take the extra 60 seconds and do the brushing.
Dragon breath. 2 out of 5 Americans bad at mornings. I think a little bit of prep and the night before can go a long way. I mean, I've got my computer and everything in my bag. Everything I need is ready to go. It's right there by my hat before I leave the house. Coffee.
I think it's also part of your
the coffee pot is ready to go. And
DNA.
Brews my coffee, so it's good to. I mean, you're a hot mess. I don't know how the hell you live.
But there's 5 of us in our house with genetics, and there's me and one other that are capable
genetics?
of morning.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, like how I think it's part of your DNA and how you there's one other person in my house that can do mornings, and then the 3 others are just.
I'm not
bad
talking about
at
just getting up and getting going. I'm talking about. I mean, like I get texts from you all the time, like. I forgot to plug in my phone, or
now
the coffee incident is over. The dog ate this, or
yes,
yeah, and it's like I'm like, man, what is going on over there? How do you make it?
Yeah,
like every day seems like a struggle.
Right now, it's a real big struggle. Right now,
right.
No, I get that. I mean, some people just aren't good at mornings at all.
Toma Tom texted in earlier. This was quite a while ago, so I don't know. It was about an accident. I'm sure it's cleaned up now. Sorry, Toma Tom. We didn't get to that. James texting in says, seems like everyone forgot about Skynet. Before we know it, Terminators will be running around. Yeah, a
driverless car and a humanoid robot delivering
what
your
could
packages.
possibly go wrong? When everything in the world is getting hacked now and all of your personal information is getting stolen from websites like 23andMe, people are skimming ATMs in the Dells. What could possibly go wrong about humanoid robots delivering your packages in driverless cars? What could possibly go wrong? Solar flares can affect all that crap. I mean, we don't even need to be hacked by anybody. It just needs to be the sun's pissed off that day.
Mother Nature can do it.
What are we doing? Brandon texted in and said, does the Amazon robot throw and kick the packages too? You mean like the guy with the Chewy order? I got to be honest. I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't know if I'd want to be carrying those big, heavy-ass Chewy boxes either.
It's got to be so
But that's
great.
the deal with the devil that you make when you're delivering packages for a living.
I know.
You know that some of those are going to be heavy and they're going to be bad and you're going to hate it, but you can't throw it.
Like most of them are going to be heavy.
You can't yeet it onto my front step there, whoever your name was. I was so pissed. I'm sitting there right in my living room, and this guy had the box on his shoulder. It was one of those 50-pound bags of dog food in the box from Chewy, and just about 10 feet from the sidewalk, just goes, and I was like, and whatever, it's just dog food. It's not perishable, it's not breakable, but I was like, I texted Black Nick, who does deliveries, and I was like, what's up with your bro here, man? I was like, you know this guy? Can you report him? Yeah. Also got a message from Angelina, said, the face tattoo thing, thank you for the giggle. That's why we listen to you in the morning. I have my moments. I don't need a face tattoo,
Yeah,
though.
and it's not even a tattoo. It's like wires and all this stuff over the forehead.
Think of like when you go in for the sleep study.
Yes, it's like a sleep study on your face.
It's like on your forehead, and it's like a lot of electrodes. I'm not wearing that just to tell me I'm stressed. Bitch, I know I'm stressed.
I already got that.
I'm awake. That means I'm stressed.
I got it. So I'm looking at the state track meet and the rain chances. So it's going down as the day goes on from, about 40%, 30%. 10, I mean, there's still rain and the possibility in the forecast until later this afternoon. But it goes down and probably cloudy. You said maybe a peak of sun later on, but the rain chances diminish throughout the day. So that's good.
I think I have my first side effect.
What? From your Skyrizi?
Thanks for...
You're gonna manifest side effects because what happened?
Spitting up blood is manifesting.
You did not spit up blood.
I did this morning when I was brushing my teeth.
Up.
I did. And it was blood from my throat. It wasn't blood from my gums.
Get out.
No, I'm serious. When I was upstairs and I was brushing my teeth and everything else feels fine. Like I haven't had any, the big ones are dizziness, fainting, severe diarrhea, rash or swelling, pain in the injection site. I mean, even that's gone. But then there's one of them is a change in your sputum.
Okay.
Right? Your phlegm.
Yes. How much phlegm you have?
I have noticed an uptick in phlegm the last 2 days.
What do you mean noticed an uptick of phlegm?
Well, I'm more phlegmy than I was previous to the Skyrizi shot.
Well,
you should know over there, nasal passages.
I'm way more phlegmy over here. Way more.
Anyways, this morning I went upstairs like I normally do, just after 5. I took a poop, and then I rinsed out my coffee cup, and then I was brushing my teeth. And after I got done brushing my teeth, I hawked a loogie, and I spit it in the sink, and it was almost all blood. It wasn't just like I said, if you I use hard bristled brushes, so my gums tend to bleed because I'm very aggressive with my brushing.
Then that's
but
what
it wasn't
was.
from that, no, because it was after I had rinsed, and then I spit, and then it was blood. But other than that, I think I'm okay. I don't have any weird mutant growths.
Well, that's a little
from
weird.
the Skyrizi.
You can't just say hey, I have internal bleeding. I think probably internal bleeding is a side effect, but it's probably okay.
Well, I think I'd know if I had internal bleeding.
Well, where did it come from?
Where did what come from?
Your blood and that.
Well, probably from up here. It says if you have tightness of chest and respiratory issues and all that stuff. So I'm sure that this Skyrizi, it's affecting a lot of different stuff. I mean, it's not just for psoriasis, right? It's for Crohn's and all sorts of other things, arthritic. problems and all that stuff. So it's probably just in there going, hey, let's just hit everything with it, and then whatever the byproduct is, we'll deal with it.
Well, if you're hacking up a lung, that's a problem.
I'm not hacking up a lung. I'm just saying I noticed some blood in my phlegm this morning when I spit into the sink after I brushed my teeth. I'm not freaking out about it. We just had the story about the guy sharing his health issues, and you were all complimentary about this guy. Oh, that's great. You got to talk about it. Bitch, I'm trying to talk about it, and you're giving me crap.
I don't want to hear about that, though.
It's ridiculous.
Hop to it and spit on that thing, Brian?
Yes,
Is that you?
I was spitting on that thing. By the way, if you think Gene is nasally now, I was listening to this earlier this morning, if you want to.
I've got the UWL Screaming Eagles here. We got some drums, a couple saxophones, and a tuba.
How many band members of the UWL Screaming Eagles were able to join us this morning?
We got 26 band members here.
26 band members, and we have Tammy, the conductor of the UWL Screaming Eagles, on site. We're at Puck's house this morning, and we've got a sign. Now, what does the sign say that you made?
My sign says, Happy 30th Puck.
Happy 30th Puck. This is the morning sickness style happy birthday wish for the Puckster. Are they ready to play?
All right, before my surgery. When you're ready.
Here we go.
Here we go. Good morning, Puck.
Yeah, so you sent the UWL marching band, the Screaming Eagles, to our coworker's house on his 30th birthday, by the way.
Early in the morning.
And I saw that pop up this morning when I was looking for something, and I listened to it, and I was like, God damn, Jean sounds worse now than she did before the surgery.
That was before I had nasal surgery.
They messed up because it's back.
Well, they didn't mess up.
Maybe they left something in there.
They did not.
You got something in there. You got something in there, man. They got a scalpel or something in there. They done messed up. And again, thank you for being so caring and kind about me discussing. I guess I'll never talk about anything again.
You're
That's
fine.
just I'll do what men do and not talk. I'll push it all the way down.
If you start bleeding
until it kills me.
It's out the corner
until
of your
it
mouth.
kills me, Gene.
Then I'll get a napkin and help you clean up.
Sputum. I'm having sputum problems.
Or not.
My Skyrizi sputum issues.
Stop it.
Green Day. It's when I come around. Bad News Happy Music is coming up. So is Doc's Racing Report.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Twice in 1 week.
I know, I'm so lucky.
Be Still My Heart. Wednesday, we had a Racing Report extra because Kyle Larson was at Red Cedar Speedway.
Big crowd, you said? Lots of people enjoying it?
I'm assuming the crowd was big. I didn't see the crowd, but I saw several of the people that I know on social media posting that they were at the track or ran into Kyle Larson. But Doc's normal Racing Report happens on Fridays at about 8:15. The Mid-Pack legend, Mr. Technicality, Car 54, Billy Doc Niles, a.k.a. Captain Retirement, a.k.a. hashtag Mr. Fister, a.k.a. hashtag this guy.
Happy July.
Happy 4th of July. It's less than a month from now. Let's work on that. Hashtag this guy.
I'm kind of anal.
That's what all the guys at the campground say about him. Hashtag this guy.
He's got it locked on the rock. He's listening to the doc.
Is he?
Yeah.
Hashtag this guy.
You're getting a thrill by listening to Bill.
I always do. Always.
Hashtag this guy.
He gets to stay on the box.
That's exactly where he wants to stay. Hashtag this guy.
He's going to have to come from the back.
The only way to come from, Gene, is the back. Hashtag this guy.
Going to be a big one for them.
That's what she said. Hashtag this guy.
He could be coming from your backyard.
Coming from the back again.
Oh, my gosh.
Hashtag this guy.
A lot of beating and banging.
Sounds like a good weekend at Doc's house.
At the campground.
Hashtag this guy.
Nothing says you can't slip one in without saying anything.
Oh, that's 30 years of marriage talking right there. Hashtag this guy.
First day with the new tongue.
First day with you got to practice. Hashtag this guy.
God damn, I'm going too fast.
Said no one ever.
Hashtag this guy.
He sees her. He doesn't have time to turn away from her. Blasts her in the rear end.
That's what happened.
Does blast her in the rear end. Hashtag this guy.
Whoa, what am I touching here?
Whoa, what are you touching there, Doc?
Well, after going on and ordering the bar of soap made of Gene's bathwater last week, I actually got to use it last night, and I feel tingly all over.
Aw, Doc.
I was just wrapped in Gene's love.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was the only bar of soap. I'm glad you got it.
Was
Thanks,
it full of
Alex.
snot?
Yeah,
Did it have some of her snot in there,
phlegmy.
too?
It was very phlegmy soap.
It came with cold medication.
Yeah, it did. NyQuil. What's going on, Doc?
Yeah, did you get to Red Cedar Speedway, or did you not go?
I did. Unfortunately, no. Some of us have to get up at 3 a.m. like you do and go to work, so I couldn't make that trip. But, if you saw some of the videos and the pictures, there was like standing room only there. And if you get a chance, get to Red Cedar Speedway's Facebook page and check out them final 5 laps with Rico Abreu and Kyle Larson. They put on a show. It was an amazing race. Congratulations to Rico Abreu. He beats Larson by .133 to win that race on Wednesday night. Like I said, just go to their Facebook page, check out them final few laps. You're going to be amazed. NASCAR's midseason challenge, we talked a little bit about this last year, is set to start this week with the top 32 drivers. It's going to be a bracket-style format, and what they're going to do for the next 3 races with these 32 drivers, they're going to, be earning points like they normally do. And after 3 races, they're going to rank them from 1st to 32nd. And then when the TV package flips from Prime to TNT, the following 5 races on TNT are going to be the bracket-style challenge. And they're going to, 32 down to 16, down to 8, down to 4, down to the final 2 in the last race there. So it's something a little interesting, like a mid-season challenge. Plus, it's $1 million to win this bad boy, so they got a little incentive to run the best they can. This weekend there at Michigan, it's a super speedway, a 2-mile D-shaped oval, 18-degree bankings, and they get some incredible speeds on this bad boy. Jeff Gordon still has the qualifying record at 206.5 miles an hour set in 2014. Tyler Reddick won this race last year. Fantasy experts, they like Larson, Hamlin, and Blaney. When I filled mine out last night, Keselowski, Reddick, Wallace, Byron, guys who are really fast when it comes to these big, fast tracks. VegasInsider.com via the BetMGM app brings us our odds this week. They fall in line with the fantasy experts. Larson at 525, Hamlin at 600, Blaney at 650, Byron at 800, Reddick at 850, Christopher Bell at 1,000. Speaking of Red Cedar Speedway tonight, now if they get it in, they're busy working the track right now. They had the rain last night, so they are working the track, and I have no messages on my phone right now from Jalen, the PR guy. So as of right now, they are planning to race it. It's a Dave Shackleton Memorial featuring the Fast Lane Superstock Series. Now, since Shackleton's number was 74 when he raced, the winner of the Fast Lane Superstock race will get $1,374 so far. If they keep getting contributions in there, look for that number to get up higher. But that's gonna pretty cool to have the Superstock Series in town. I got a beep. It's not him. Okay. Late models, modifieds, Midwest mods, along with the Superstock Series. They'll be racing tonight. Gates at 5. Practice at 6. First green flag at 7. Tomorrow night at La Crosse, it is fan photo night. Now, what they do, they take the cars from all 5 competing divisions, line them up on the front stretch. The gates are going to open up for you, and you can roam around the front stretch, then meet your favorite driver and get his autograph. The first 500 fans who enter will receive a souvenir poster for the drivers to sign. Late models, Sportsman, Hornets, Street Stocks, and the High School Racing Association makes its first appearance this season. Gates open at 5:15. Fan photo starts at 5:30. The first green flag drops at 7 o'clock. And racing season is in full swing right now. And I know we got a lot of people listening all over the country. Do yourself a favor. Take your family out and support a great local short track. Doc's Race Report is brought to you by our friends at County Materials on Empire Street in Holman. That is this week's race report.
DOC, big plans this weekend?
Yeah, well, we got a birthday at the campground, so we're going to be smoking some chicken thighs for big birthday meal. We got to dive out for a graduation party for a couple hours, but basically it's going to be a nice, relaxing weekend at the campground again.
Nice. Very nice. Well, say hi to Mrs. Doc for us, okay?
Oh, she loves you guys. She can't wait to see you guys.
Looking forward to it. Doc's Racing Report each and every Friday at about 8:15. Obviously, we had an extra this week because there was a very special event at Red Cedar Speedway earlier.
Sure was. That's very cool.
Excuse me. All right. Before we get to bad news, happy music, it's some Offspring on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some Haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Friday edition. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
A guest suing the St. Regis Ball, B-A-L, Ball Harbor in Miami, a hotel, claiming an employee used his master key to access her room while she was naked in the shower and stood there watching her for several minutes.
Yeah, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
According to the lawsuit, the incident occurred at the Marriott managed property on April 22nd when she noticed the bathroom door open and a man staring at her through the glass. She screamed. He fled. Of course he fled, right?
Well, he's got, even if you claim that he was a maintenance person or a cleaning person, you would know, right?
Oh, he's got to know he's not supposed to be there. She says she then reported the incident to the hotel security on the front desk, waited hours for a response. No immediate apology. After multiple follow-ups, she said the staff confirmed the man was an employee, claiming he'd entered the wrong room. However, security footage shows the staffer lingering outside her room for nearly a minute before entering. So he knew, waiting for the sound of a shower, what he was going to see when he went in there. Remained inside for nearly 3 minutes. So not wrong room, pop back out. Apparently the hotel offered her, are you ready?
Oh, is this a free night stay?
In response to the man who had a master key and went in and stood there and watched her shower for several minutes.
Free breakfast?
A bottle of wine.
Sweet berry wine.
And they also offered to comp her room. She obviously declined, left the hotel that night, and filed a police report the very next morning. Her lawsuit argues that Marriott failed to properly screen, train, and supervise employees, putting guests at risk, giving them unrestricted access to guest rooms. She wants $7 million.
Okay, all right, okay.
You lost me at the $7 million. Look, I feel bad for you.
Yes,
Definitely in the right. $7 million. Let's be honest here.
Come on, no.
No. And
you wouldn't get $7 million in.
Look, you shoot for the moon. And you hope for the stars.
If he was actually injured or assaulted.
Right. If he got in the shower or touched her or, okay, $7 million. Now, look, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to sue them or whatever, but $7 million's pushing it. I'm guessing that maybe they're going to look. Well, they're going to say, okay, how about if we give you $1 million and you never talk about it again? Or how about we give you this Marriott card where you stay for free with us for the rest of your life in any hotel?
And we promise we'll do a better job.
And we won't have that
screening.
guy. I don't know. There's that. Are you on Facebook?
I can be, yeah.
City, C-I, put it in your search. City, C-I-T-Y, space, of, space,
yep,
A-R-D-M-O-R-E. Does it say dash
Ardmore Police Department?
Go ahead.
Oh, is this the guy with the butt?
Have yourself a big day.
Maybe they're looking at that big butt of yours.
There is a post from yesterday for the city of Ardmore, which is in Oklahoma. And their police department said, please tie your loads down. Bumps in the road, yeet goes the lawnmower, yeet goes the lawn chair, and yeet to whatever else you happen to be hauling. Too much yeet, not enough safety. And they've got a photo in the post of one of their officers from the city of Ardmore giving a ticket or a warning to somebody with a bunch of stuff in their trailer that may not be tied down.
Yeah, looks like
loose this guy's big ass is not tied down because it's filling up. That cake is filling up them jeans.
Is it getting thick already?
Yeah.
I don't think it's big. I think it's just.
It's the pants are too small. But he's got cake.
He's got
cake.
And
it's not by the ocean, but he's got cake.
He can flaunt that.
And the comments, if you want to just goof off at work for the rest of the afternoon, there's over 15,000 comments. It's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. Officer Daniels,
I wonder
with
if
a
this
blue
guy
with a blue
is
check
like,
mark,
oh
commented, "Officer Thickums better calm the hell down." If you're looking for a giggle or a laugh on a Friday, maybe you've had enough of the week, and I heard from several people yesterday that they had enough, that they were happy the week was coming to an end.
Yes.
Michelle Brand, in fact, was telling me that. Go for the City of Ardmore, Ardmore Police Department. Yesterday's
This
post
guy
with
is
Officer
probably
Thickums.
Oh no, he's like, come on, that.
You know what probably happened is
That
like
ass needs to be tied down.
he probably has a station issued uniform.
Oh, I'm sure.
And his wife or him or whatever, somebody messed up the laundry.
I don't
and he
think
had to
so.
take a different pair of pants.
I think they look fine.
And he chose the tight pants. Everybody's talking about my tight pants. About my tight pants. I got my tight pants on.
He sure does.
Officer Thickums. Thick 'em up. Again, have fun with the comments. It's a blast.
It is.
I spent up a good half hour
Laughing.
and I had to stop because there were so many. There's 15,000 comments.
I know.
Yeah. DoorDash. You do the DoorDash every once in a while, right?
I do. Yep. Eat Street DoorDash. Sure do.
Add this to the list of reasons not to do DoorDash.
Oh, no.
A 59-year-old man in Washington State named Robert Delahant was driving for DoorDash last week. He delivered a $100 order. $10, $15, $20 tip, right? That's 10, 15, 20%.
Yeah.
Robert did not get a tip, however, in the system.
At all?
Or a cash tip when he arrived. So he took matters into his own hands, returned to the house the very next morning with...
A bag of poop.
With?
I don't an axe.
With?
A gun?
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
To rob them?
And he apparently was, not only was the gun loaded, but so was Robert. Sounds like Robert planned to intimidate them into giving him a tip, but the 19-year-old girl and her 55-year-old father weren't having it. Robert lifted up his shirt to show off that he had the gun. That's when the dad apparently grabbed him and started wrestling with him. The father, eventually getting control of the gun, shoved Robert down the driveway and demanded that he leave. Robert, the DoorDash driver, called police as he drove away, saying he returned after being cheated out of a tip. Also said that he was shoved by the father. He, of course, did not mention that he had shown up with a loaded gun. The father and daughter said that Robert was loud and mouthy and reeked of alcohol. The cops say that Robert later admitted he had been drinking. Robert was then charged with assault, harassment, driving under the influence, blood alcohol level, by the way, more than twice the legal limit. Also has a prior DUI conviction. DoorDash canned him immediately. Doesn't sound like the father and daughter are in any trouble. They didn't explain why they didn't tip.
I have a gun in my room. You give me 5 seconds, I'll get it. I'll come back down here. Boom! I'll blow their brains out.
Scott, you just don't get it, do you?
I can't believe in that story. It was Robert that called the cops.
Yeah.
Because if the DoorDash guy from last night
Well,
shows up with
drunk.
a gun.
He was 2 times the legal limit, and he was pissed, and his gun got taken away. He got no tip. He got shoved down the driveway, and he obviously is in big trouble.
But
So,
I'm calling the cops if I'm the homeowner. Like, this DoorDash guy showed up with a gun at my...
nobody
from
said
last
criminals
night.
were smart, okay? Nobody said criminals
He's the
were
one
smart.
that called the cops. Interesting.
Big dumb idiot. A crime syndicate. I got to be honest. As a guy...
You had to look this up? What? Is this what's going on?
As a guy who has a wife that has a lot of candles in the house and knows how expensive these candles can be...
Yeah?
This is about 10 candles. They stole about 10 candles. A crime syndicate has been charged with stealing nearly $32,000 worth of candles from stores in Virginia. And they've finally been shut down. So they got 10 candles in the deal.
And
it
then they
was-
said no more
It
candles.
was so
for
rampant,
you.
they had to shut them down.
I had to Google goop vagina candles.
That is a lot of candles, huh?
A crew that police said is responsible for the theft of nearly $32,000 worth of candles in a months-long crime spree in Fairfax County.
Who's doing that? They plan that out for a month and then
What the hell
What are they doing? What
Are
they
there
gonna,
like
are they gonna
Karens
mark 'em
out
up?
on the alleyway looking to buy black market candles? Look, I can't afford the Yankee prices. Can you get me one for like $18 instead of $30?
Yeah, I can. We'll have a trailer on the corner here.
You're
next
gonna love these.
Tuesdays.
You're gonna love these names: Devin Owens, Delonte Shaw, and Sincere Stewart.
They took a month to steal a bunch of candles.
Were all arrested and are now awaiting extradition to Fairfax County. The string of candle thefts began February 10th when 3 individuals entered a Bath and Body Works, stole more than $1,800 worth of candles.
Those 3-wick ones.
Driving off when the police arrived. No, it's the Woodwick ones. Those ones are very, they crackle when they burn. The same location was hit 8 more times. They went to the same store 9 times. Bro, get a security guard. What are we going to do? I don't know. It's only been twice. We'll wait till the 3rd time. What are we going to do? I don't know. It's only been 4 times. Well, they 8 times. It went 9 times.
These guys backed up with a pickup truck to the...
$32,000 worth of candles.
The snow's falling down. It's Christmas time again. A woman has to get a gift for some girl at work named Jen. She doesn't know what Jen likes, and she doesn't super care. So she goes inside a closet just to see what crap's in there. In the darkness there's a light. Then suddenly she sees that Christmas Savior's here tonight. It's a candle, each candle. It's been sitting by a bike pump for a year.
Sitting by a bike pump for a year.
It's a peach candle.
A peach candle.
Dude, they went to the same
9
store
times over the course of like 4 months.
Candles, just candles. And what
how
were
many
they
times do you have to get robbed by the
them?
same guys in order to get a security guard? Ay, ay, ay.
And what were they going to do with them, though? Honest.
Oh, I think, again, like if you look at the prices of these candles,
you're like,
you start a Facebook Marketplace store, and you're just selling them at discount. You're not out anything other than the gas money. Bad news, happy music. Last one. Hashtag Florida. You knew it was going to happen. A Florida couple has now been charged in the death of a teen girl met.
Oh my gosh.
The 16-year-old using Grindr's twink category before they then suffocated her to death with
oh my God, what?
With a billiard ball and chopped up her body. Yeah. Right? Going on Grindr, looking for twinks. End up getting a 16-year-old girl, choked her to death with a billiard ball, and then chopped up her body, hacked her up.
Okay.
The estate of Miranda Corset, identified as MC, recently filing a lawsuit in the U.S. Middle District of Florida against the app typically used for gay dating. The plaintiffs claim that Grindr's reckless and careless reliance on self-reported age verification allowed Miranda to sign up for the app and meet predators like 35-year-old Stephen Gress, who is now charged with murder in her death. The lawsuit alleges 9 counts against the company, including negligence, wrongful death, participating in sex trafficking, and inflicting emotional distress.
So they can go on the app, lie about their age, and then be looking for other people and meeting up with people out there?
They say that the plaintiff's lawyers write, long before February 14th of this year, it was clear to Grindr that it was only a matter of time before its app, as Grindr marketed and designed it, would cause the torture, rape, and murder of a child.
Ugh.
February 14th was when Gress found Corset on the app thanks to the geolocation technology that matches people who are nearby, and then set up an in-person meeting with this young girl, eventually lead to her demise. Grindr's lack of age verification platform design substantially contributed to her death, just 16 years old.
Oof.
Gress and his girlfriend, Michelle Brands, following the alleged murder, needed to dispose of the victim's remains, but first they needed to celebrate her birthday. Cops wrote in a search warrant request obtained by the Tampa Bay Times. Gress and Brandes ate at a Popeyes restaurant and played mini golf in Clearwater after they murdered a 16-year-old girl and then chopped up her body. Put these people under the jail. After their birthday bash, the 2 suspects then allegedly drove around Tampa Bay looking for places to dispose of the body, eventually finding a dumpster near this guy's grandparents. Yeah. Cops believe the dumpster was then taken to a landfill, and its contents, including the girl's remains, were incinerated. 16-year-old girl, Grindr app, found by these 2 sickos. Murdered her with a billiard ball and then chopped her up, dumped her body in a dumpster. Disgusting. Put those people under the jail forever. Bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Going to get to our daily check-ins, text messages, emails, see what people are up to. You going in today? You going in? You getting that looked at?
I think I have to. I don't know what else I can do about this.
Get it fixed, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
need antibiotics or something, I think.
You're like the girl whose like transmission light comes on in her car and you know something's wrong, but you don't go get it fixed.
Well, I had to wait it out. I had to wait it out. You can't go for a virus.
It's been a month.
It'll be a month on Monday, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had to wait. You can't just run into the doctor for a cold.
Puddle of Mud.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello?
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
The website is rockmornings.com. You can head there for all of our contact information. You can listen to the show live on the website. You can even check out our daily podcast. Give it a like and subscribe. In case you missed something, want to hear it again, share it with a friend. One of those things. James texting in earlier. We were talking about the Amazon humanoid robots that may start delivering packages to your home, your apartment, your dwelling.
A driverless car and a robot are going to bring you your 3-pack of undershirts.
Stay indoors.
Or your blow-up dolls.
We will bring you everything you need.
Or...
Seems like everyone forgot about Skynet. Before we know it, Terminators will be running around.
Of course.
That's what James said. I agree with you, James. I agree with you. T-Stat said Brian's favorite donut is the same as mine. Free. Have a nice day.
Ba-dum-bum.
The text actually said Brian's favorite donut is the Dave as mine. Free. Have a nice day. Is the same. Damn autocorrect. It happens. Thank you, T-Stat. Appreciate it. National Donut Day. Brandon said Quick Trip is a free Long John with the Quick Rewards app for Donut Day.
I tried to find that, but thank you for the information.
Somebody texted in and said, has Jean tried the place in Winona, Blado's? And I said, doubtful. She just likes to complain. Ryan said, if I'm understanding what Jean is saying, I'm pretty sure they have that at Blado's in Winona. Get your ass in a car, drive the half hour to Blado's, and get your friggin' favorite donut and stop bitching about it. It exists. You just don't want to go out of your comfort zone.
Stop it. That's not true.
Chocolate donut, chocolate glaze, cream filling.
Round chocolate cake, chocolate frosting, cream filling. Like whipped cream filling.
Ryan said it's at Blado's. Have you gone to Blado's?
No.
Of course not. Then you don't know it doesn't exist.
I'm just saying
because
most
it's not at the
places
places you
exist.
can't. Most places, have you been to? Where are the most places? Did you go to
all
Linda's?
the places. I've been to the
Did
places.
you go Linda's?
Yes,
Where?
I've been to Dunkin'. I've been to the grocery store. I've been to the bakery. I've been to
What bakery?
bakeries in
Which bakery?
Minneapolis. I was
Which
at the
bakery?
donut
Which
shop,
bakery?
Donut Girls. I haven't been to Blado's.
You can't rely on Minneapolis for donuts.
I do have to say I haven't been to Blado's for it though.
Go to Blado's. They probably got it there.
They
According to
probably got it.
That's what Ryan says. Go ahead, explain it again. Chocolate, round chocolate
I'm looking
donut.
on their website. Okay.
Well, they may not list every single donut they make. Maybe it's like one of those ones that.
See, here's my problem.
Oh, Jesus. Go ahead. Tell me what your problem is.
My problem is because I see it. It says whipped cream and it's round, so it's a Bismarck. My problem is it's a yellow cake with chocolate frosting and whipped cream in the middle.
You want the chocolate?
I want
cake.
the cake to be chocolate too, kind of like a ding dong.
I'm sure that if you were to get in touch with the people at Blado's, they could make you a donut.
They could do that.
Yes.
Okay. Cherry's also good, and apple cider.
Angelina texting in earlier saying the face tattoo thing. Thank you for that giggle. That's why we listen to you in the morning. I have my moments. I don't need a face tattoo, though. Yeah, thank you, Angelina. Appreciate all the correspondence.
Date night winner, Linda Wyk-Zorik.
Oh, man. First of all, I love the handwriting. You tried, which is nice.
I did try.
It's legible, even though your D, it looks like you went with a C and an L instead of a D. What happened there? What do you call that?
What do you mean? What do I call that? It's a D, obviously.
Linda
is her name.
It's not even connected. The C isn't connected to the L.
It is too.
No, it looks like Linkla.
It does not.
Linkla.
Linda. Linda.
Where? Wizoric? Wizoric? Am I close? Wieczzorek. Wizoric. Right? Doesn't the C and the Z go like a Z?
Maybe.
Like a Z? Wizoric? Wizoric. There you
Congratulations, Linda.
Linkla.
Linda.
Linkla.
Hey, by the way, good luck to all the athletes and their families that are in lacrosse for the state tournament. It starts at 9:30 this morning with D1 and D2 and then D3s this afternoon. And then, of course, the finals tomorrow. So hopefully this rain holds off.
Have a great weekend. We will talk to you on Monday unless Jean's sinuses completely fall out of her face.
Like rupture. Like,
and then it'll just be me. Get it fixed.
I'll go to walk-in, okay?
Great.